everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The One Good Reason. And for the first time on Tiger Talk, I did actually bring on my wife, Olivia.
Hi.
Go ahead and let everybody know what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Toxic workplaces.
Toxic workplaces was something that kind of popped up as far as the conversation goes recently. And I was like, you know what? We should probably dive into it because we have a couple of horror stories.
A couple.
And I wanted to go ahead and kick it off with walk us through what exactly a toxic workplace is to you and where you are right now, as far as that's concerned.
I mean, for me, a toxic workplace is somewhere that, you get depressed. You literally cry before you start your shift, before you clock in, which that was my situation for the past 9 years. But yeah, it's just something that you're not proud of, but you still, do it because you need a paycheck, but
keep on trucking.
Yeah, basically. But
so I know, like you just said, so you've been at a particular job for 9 years. And in that 9 years, can you walk us through like any, you don't have to get too specific, but, like an example of the type of fuckery that would take place? And
where do I start?
Was it gradual, kind of like once you get into it, like, was it gradually getting progressively worse, or was it just a consistent ridiculousness throughout?
No, so it was always there. Always toxic, but when you first start, they hide it very well, so you don't know what exactly you're getting into. So for me, the first couple of months, maybe in the first year, I thought it was a great job. I was happy, I guess. And then you slowly start to see things. You hear other people talking shit and you're just like, you're just being miserable, whatever. But then you start to see these things and things start happening to you and you're like, wait a minute. And then it's just a repeated thing that it keeps happening. And then all of a sudden you feel stuck. And then 9 years later,
So I could see maybe that feeling, as you said, kind of being trapped. Would you say you didn't really have maybe other people, like those other people that you're saying that, or maybe you're talking shit about the job and things like that, because you had a company in your misery, that kind of like make it more normal that you're going through this? Or
yeah
because I'm trying to figure out how you get to a point where you release yourself from said trap.
It does get to the point where it becomes normal, especially if you have other people that you're identifying these things with. And then you'll make jokes about it. That's just like part of your daily conversation with these people. And then it's like you think, like, for me personally, I think, I'm feeling this way, I'm upset, I'm depressed, but this person is doing the same job. They're probably feeling the same way, but they're doing it. Why am I having these setbacks and feelings? And, maybe I'm just being like dramatic, or, but
maybe it's me.
Maybe it's me, but it's not. And I think any toxic workplace will have you in that state of mind that you're like, what's wrong with me? But it's not you. It's the workplace. So
I'm thinking you're clocking in, you're grinding, you're doing your job. You obviously didn't get fired over 9 years, right? So you're somehow doing a decent job. And I'm thinking, okay, how many promotions took place in that 9 years?
Zero. None.
Zero promotions. Okay. And
although I tried so many times.
Yeah. So you did try to ascend and try to move up in the company. And what was the typical response to that, or how did that usually go? Were there interviews or?
No. I would just get an email. Sorry, we went with somebody else. There was never any feedback. Never any structured career path, or you can do this, we offer these courses, or these trainings that you can do, or you can mentor with this person, shadow this person. None of that. Nothing was ever, no resources like that were given to
better
help.
yourself or
Yeah.
move up. And that's something that kind of resonates with me. Is I don't know about any of you, the viewers, when you've say like you're currently working for a job. I know there's a difference between, let's say you don't have a job and you're trying to get one, but once you have a job and you are trying to move up, say it's an administrative role or some type of a corporate role, etc. You find yourself trying to compete and progress. And if you put in your resume, right, for a position, you're hoping to maybe get an interview, hopefully you get the job. And if you don't, you would like to think that there's some type of a feedback that they can provide, that, this is something that you can work on, a constructive criticism, etc. Yeah, when they just tell you, no, you didn't get it, and they don't provide that, you really don't know if you should approach it the same way or what to do different. You're just kind of stuck. I don't know about you, but I've actually had no response.
Yeah.
And then I just read between the lines and say, well, it's been 6 months. I think they've moved on.
Yeah. So, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Either it's one or the other, either no response or sorry.
And then aside from that, so I mean, that's a big thing. But aside from that, so let's say, you're working there for a long time. I know you've put in 9 years. What other types of things do you feel like the company would toy with as far as your mental health is concerned, and your flexibility and your livelihood?
Yeah. So, I mean, scheduling.
Preach.
I'm not just speaking of my job, but just any job that's, similar.
Mm-hmm.
They are very vocal about, work-life balance. We can, you can have this schedule where you're going to, be able to work and then, have your family time, whatever. But no, it's not like that. I think for me, I started realizing there's a huge problem just in the last 2 years when everyone started working from home. And I'm noticing friends and family, they can get up and go to the bathroom. They can get up and, maybe take a 30-minute break. If I get up and I'm gone for 5 minutes, I have to answer to where I was. Something's wrong with that when everyone else around me is not having to do this. And it's like, how did I get stuck working this shit? But
and I don't want people to take that lightly. It's not an exaggeration.
No.
She could be terminated.
Yeah.
I just want to let that sink in. She could be terminated. That 5 minutes, maybe she trips and falls or has a stomach ache, or the dog runs away, or somebody rang the doorbell, or, she gets a call from the school. It's been, difficult, to say the least. So
yeah, to say the least.
It's trying to structure, because you're a mom. Everybody knows, we have Autumn.
Yeah.
She's 6. She's in first grade.
Mm-hmm.
And, we've just moved into this house, and we're trying to have some semblance of that work-life balance that you're talking about. When you're talking about the scheduling, give me an idea of the type of schedule somebody with 9 years of service in the company just recently received. I don't want to steal your thunder.
Yeah. So just so everyone can get an idea of what the scheduling is like. It's Monday through Saturday. If you've been there for a while, you're supposed to be getting a Monday through Friday shift, so you don't have to work on Saturdays. But they usually give the earlier shifts to people who just started. So they'll have to work Saturday, but Monday through Thursday or whatever days during the week they're working, they'll get the 8 to 5. Meanwhile, me, I get Monday through Friday, but I have to work 11:30 to 8:15. And
so you literally got off of work less than an hour ago.
Yeah. And well,
since 3:30.
A little more than an hour ago, but it's just, it sucks because when you have kids, especially, ours goes to bed at 9. So I get to see my kid for 45 minutes.
And then you always told me about these shift bids. So, couldn't it just be what it's like every 3 months or something like that, right?
Yeah, so
you could technically get out of that.
There's a lot of flip-flopping. So there have been times that I've worked 8 to 5 or 9 to 6, but it's so unpredictable.
It could be consistently fucked.
Yeah. So it's basically, it puts you in a position, well, you can either choose to see your family on the weekend, or you can choose to see your family in the evenings during the week. And again, that brings me back to seeing friends and family working and not having to make that decision. And it's like, why do I have to choose between this to see my family? And it's like, that's another thing that's like, that's not right. There's something wrong with that. There's something very wrong with that.
So, you have this really good news, guys. Just recently, like, her birthday, right, was just the 27th, 2 days ago. She literally just got hired for this really amazing job. I still can't believe it. Yeah. we we're practically on the verge of tears. We're screaming, hollering. It was crazy because when you did win those shift bids, as you said, and you're getting that morning shift, and all the newcomers are getting stuck with that night shift and that weekend or whatever, and you're feeling good, that's a small victory, right? And that keeps you afloat. But in the back of your head, you're like, I need to escape. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But pre-COVID, pre-working from home, you're trying to take time off, PTO, to go to an interview, or
you can even get the time off.
What's the plan to actually proceed with getting out of there at that point? I feel like COVID put us in a position to where interviews are digital. You can do one on your lunch and not get caught in traffic. And then this recent screwing with your schedule, right? That freed up your morning, because I think you're starting not for much longer, but you're starting 11:30.
Yeah.
So that freed up your morning basically, so you could just go to town on these applications and things.
And another thing, especially with my situation, that I think other people can relate to with a toxic work environment, it's like, when you finally get a new job and you're getting paid more with the new job, you don't even care about that part. I'm more excited about, I'm going to be able to see my family. I'm going to be able to not have to answer to, getting up to go to the bathroom. I'm going to have like a normal schedule like everyone else around me does.
Rushing your restroom breaks, that's just
so I'm just like, that something's wrong with that too. When you're thinking these things, like you would think that, getting more money, that's the main goal. That's something to be excited about. I don't even care about that part. And that's sad.
Nice. It's nice though.
That's sad because I'm more excited that, I can.
Yeah, hit us with all the
get out of my chair.
Hit us with all the benefits though, because I remember when you first got that email. Yes, I know you're saying the money was one thing. I was happy about the money, but I know I'm not you, so
who would be? Everyone would be.
You're right? Like, that's cool, and then you started going down like the bullets of all of the things that your job your current job doesn't even come close to, like the PTO situation.
Yeah, I would have to beg for days off. Usually not getting these days off. Now it's up to me. If I want a day off, I can take the day off, and I don't have to beg or ask permission or any of that stuff I was having to do. And I feel like I've been conditioned to these things where I might, out of habit, still like ask for this day off, or I might ask, or try to tell someone, oh, I'm going to be away from the computer for 5 minutes. It's just, it's going to be an adjustment period. And that's just, it's insane to me that it's like, it's night and day, the differences between these two jobs. And I think that's, a lot of companies, they'll, like I was saying before, they'll vocalize the work-life balance, but they don't actually deliver that. So when you actually come across something that does, it's just like, it just opens your eyes. It's like, wow, I can't believe I was putting up with all this stuff for so long.
And was there, so for me, like, I'm thinking, because, the previous job I was there for almost 5 years, and, a money thing happened, and they were like, cheddar makes it better. We're gonna make it rain over here, Daddy. And I'm like, well, it's a little scary to leave a company I've been at, and I'm the big fish in the little pond. I know what I'm doing. I'm the go-to person.
Yeah.
And what if the grass isn't greener and I go over there and it's worse than before? And I have those types of pessimistic thoughts. Do you think any of that was like holding you back and trying to get out of there, or that wasn't even a factor?
No.
It was just the absolute lack of opportunity, basically.
Yeah.
For 9 years straight.
Yeah, that's not even something that's crossed my mind. Like, oh my God, I'm not gonna know what I'm doing.
You're like,
fine.
I'll learn.
I'll learn. I will learn whatever. I mean, it's just like things that you would think would be natural feelings, having a totally different career.
Yeah.
Just the things that you would think that people would feel normally, it's like those things don't even cross my mind. It's these little things that I'm just like, wow, I can start work at 9, not 11:30. Wow, I can,
go to Don Julio's for lunch and take 2 hours and come back and still get your work
Yeah.
done because they respect you as an adult to work.
that's I think that's spot on. It's like I've been treated like I'm in high school with where I've been working, and now it's like
I'd say middle.
Yeah, but so it's just like it's just wow, I can't believe like
I've had huge. So I just want to get even more real, a little bit for the audience. I've had huge fucking gripes with this company for the longest time. Like even right now, I should probably didn't want to bring it up, but both of our birthdays around the same time, and we took time off. Okay, and her last day of her time off was April 27th. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go there. She comes back yesterday, the 28th, and she sees that her PTO, which was approved in advance, way in advance, was canceled. So she's not going to get paid for that day, and it could potentially count against her attendance.
Which doesn't matter now.
It doesn't matter, but the principle is that if she didn't have this lined up,
matters,
like a barber, not only would she be screwed, and now mind you, the for any of the nerds out there, the payroll cutoff is going to be Monday, I believe 10 or 11. So they're scrambling to correct this, or first actually they pushed back and they said, no, you're wrong, you're screwed, you somehow got approved, but you didn't have the time, and you're gonna have to deal with it, you're gonna have to eat that. And then at her job, if you have any type of attendance slap on the wrist, and they don't let you go because attendance is like on a pedestal for them, if you're somehow you survive, it really claws back any opportunity to advance or move up. So the next person who's doing a shittier job than you, just generally skating by, they're going to be able to get that promotion because your kid's school was on lockdown at lunch and you had to dip out to go see if she was okay. True story, right? So so they're hitting her with like, oh, hey, happy birthday, bitch. Your PTO wasn't actually approved and you're not going to get paid for that. And so she has to keep her calm. She goes to her manager and they do the math on this is how much was allotted at the beginning of the year, this is how much you've used. Lo and behold, they're incorrect and she's right. So I'm saying, okay, like I'm trying to keep my cool, like we need that money, you got to get that money, don't mess with my money. What's up with the money? And she said, well, they're working on it today. Woke up, I think I shot up straight like rigor mortis, like what's up with the money? And she's like, well, they're still working on it. I said, is it going to be good by that payroll cutoff? Because she's going to be leaving and I don't want any loose ends, you know what I mean? But I don't work there, so I can't fight her battles for her, So she's, her and her manager are taking them to task and, she's doing all this back and forth. But I'm saying that's the type of thing she's coming back to after her birthday vacation. And get this, the job that she's leaving, she's been there for 9 years. She's put in work. She's got an award. So, I'm not going to, drag it on. They didn't wish her a happy birthday. And I know that sounds so small, and we're adults, but
But just put things into perspective.
I'm a little bit old fashioned. It's like, I'm not a new little boy coming in here, right? I'm a big cog. I've been here for almost a decade. You feel me? I'm doing something right. Everybody knows my face. The new job that she just got hired to, she hasn't worked there 1 second. She got an email, a very personalized thing. Happy birthday, Olivia. And she, she'll fight back her tears and stuff and try to make it be like, oh, that's cute, that's nice. And I'm looking at her face like, I know that got to her, So I was like, yo, let's talk about this, because I know a lot of us probably feel like you're in a cul-de-sac of your career, especially right now with COVID.
Yeah.
And working from home. For me personally, I do feel like out of sight, out of mind. I am trying to do a lot of, video meetings and things like that. So I'm seen, and I'm like, hey, you remember that thing I did? Don't forget. I need that bump, or that change in the career to make me feel like there's something I'm positive I'm going to get out of this in return for my services. But again, where I'm at now, I've only been there going on 3 years, and I'm starting to get that itch a little bit. I can't even imagine, I've never stayed at a place that long, whether it's just me not having interest in the role anymore, or disagreeing with something with the company, or just finding a little bit, better paying job. I've always tried to, stay as long as I could, but there's always something so for her to literally in all directions, either internally or externally, try to either get out or move up, and then just constantly be blocked. This is the craziest thing. I want to give it back to you here in a second, but this is the craziest thing. We slaved away, right, at that resume. And I know you've all been there, right? Slaving away at this fucking resume. Like, should I pay someone to do it? Did I put are there any typos, right? You're passing it around, and hey, can you proofread my resume? And da 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 da. It really, should it be 2 pages? Should it be 1? All the work that goes into this resume, right? Did that. Nothing, right? Just complete silence. Revamped it. Went in. Sent it out again. No opportunity for interview. And you're like, damn, what's on this resume? SpaghettiOs? Like what the fuck? No, she has a degree. She has, I'm not gonna put all her personal business out there. She has experience, okay? And craziest thing to me, seriously, the first non-bullshit company, not a scam, right? Wasting your time, right? But an actual company that gave her an interview. Seriously, the first one said, hey, let's interview. She went through a series of 3 interviews, right? Progressively more intense. No problem. First one, hired her. First one to give her an opportunity, give her a chance, hired her. And I'm just, blown away, just completely blown away. But
no, I think I know this is like a whole different, it's not a different topic, but it's a whole different subject that I'm just going to touch on. Mental health is really important in a workplace now. And I mean, it always has been a major deal, but it's been something that, I mean, growing up, it's taught to, just get over it, just keep quiet about it. You'll be fine. Keep it moving. But no, it's a really big deal. And I think now that it's something that's being, it's more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's talked about now. It's something that's, actually a discussion on the table. A lot of companies out there are not making changes that they need to basically just
keep the employees
and not just that, but to offer resources or accommodate their employees with their mental health in mind. a lot of them are still in the mindset, oh, they're just, they'll get over it. Do this, do that. They're fine. They can go home and cry.
They're complainers, or they're
or they'll put like a negative,
program,
a very negative picture on their employees. But I think there are some companies that are going the extra mile to make those changes to really consider the mental health of their employees. And those are the companies that are going to definitely do better in the years to come. And the ones that can't keep up, well, I mean, Amazon, for example. We were just looking at the stocks.
You're without we're not going to say the names of the jobs, but
we're Amazon.
But the current job, right, completely embodies what you were just talking about, right? It's what is mental health? What is that? We don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Literally, somebody was, I can say this, somebody was actually murdered on the property. Okay, it was a dating thing. That's as far as I'm going to get into that, right? Shot and murdered on the property. Okay. The company doesn't bother to, I don't know, if I'm running that company and I'm saddened to hear that something like that happened, maybe one of you, right, works for me and this type of thing, you're murdered. I'm thinking I'm going to maybe put like a placard or something on the sidewalk where that happened, in memoriam, of you, and something nice about your life that you've spent with me, the boss of that company. Didn't happen. It was, if you were new, you wouldn't even know that took place there, right? The new company that she's at, literally, if she was, because she's gonna be working from home, but if she was on site, in the location, there's literally a designated large room for mental health struggles midday. I might go in the room because, or for whatever, and I go in there and I might see you in there, and we don't have to say anything, but we know what time it is, why we're both in this room. And what do you do in that room? I don't know. Maybe there are magazines. There's probably relaxing music. I don't know if there are incense. I don't know. But the whole point is for you to detox, right? No pun intended on the episode.
That's the way of saying, hey, you matter.
Yeah.
And plain and simple.
I have to say, yes, we have an employee assistance program at my current company. Other companies I've worked for, they were working on something,
they offer
it wasn't
those, they offer those to just look good. But
yeah.
Do they tell you up front that they have it, or do you have to dig and find the information?
True that. And it's always kind of trying to talk you out of, or how should I say? I don't want to be fair. It's kind of like a little bit of guilt tripping. It's like, oh, so, man, you're our strongest. You're our strongest person, and we want you to be well, man. But we're gonna have to take on the load, and hopefully the place doesn't burn down. But hey, get well. How long did you say you're gonna be gone? So, yeah, there is a little bit of a pressure to not dip out and take care of yourself, especially if nothing's broken or bleeding, right? I mean, never mind what's going on, in your brain or in your mind. So yeah, just really, ecstatic that she happens to have a happy ending with this whole scenario. But had that not happened, I mean, she would still be trudging, going through the trenches with day after day of the same BS. But yeah, I know we're going to be wrapping up the show here. It was really good to have you on. I'm really happy that you were open enough to share this with everybody.
Yeah.
I know it's super personal. A lot of people wouldn't want to put that out there. So I really appreciate it. First time on the show, guys, show her some love. If you do like these types of talks, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I wanted to go ahead and throw this out there. Tomorrow, April 30th, Women Atheists Unload. They're going to actually have a new episode with Mandisa and Chris Cameron. I'll say it again. Mandisa and Chris Cameron are going to be on speaking about Black Free Thinkers. So again, that's tomorrow, April 30th. So do stay tuned. Did you want to chit chat with anybody after the show? If anybody wanted to speak with you, maybe go easy on her. Don't ask her, too many personal questions. But
yeah, no, that's fine.
okay. Well, other than that, guys, thank you again. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll try to see if we can do something with Wes here, maybe an after show or something, or just off the recording. All right, Wes, go ahead and beam us up.